Ruben's still going to be getting to know
I don't know.
and choosing somebody
It's a
else.
bit weird now, knowing that that's not even what you
wanted.
It's like a second option.
I'm going to start with a disclaimer because I've had two people comment on my posts, and one person has said that I have vitriol for Grace because I don't like white women. And then on my Love Island USA review, someone has said I don't like black women.
So happy for Mimi and so happy for him.
I cannot hate people because I don't know them fully.
Really
Even my own family members, I don't know them completely to say I hate them. I hate the things people do, but I don't hate the people. I hate the fact that you have Grace chasing a guy that she knows came in saying I want someone and has coupled up with someone, and she's still talking about him. That's what I hate. I don't hate Grace the person. I hate that mentality in the sense that she's managed to get two guys in trouble, Joey. She got Omar, we all remember when he was confronted by Joey in the bedroom. She got Connor when Joey was going at him and saying he's out chasing a girl who's not interested in him. And then she had two guys, Blade and Mosiah, go back to back and was playing and kissing them and saying, I want to see which kiss is better. Only for her to come back and suddenly couple up with Blade when she was telling everyone that Mosiah was better. That is what I hate. I don't know her as a person enough to hate her. Anyway, now that I've had my little rant, hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island, season 11, episode 33. So you have Uma and Will, they've left. I saw somewhere apparently did an interview and they said Uma's wife material. I'm just like, nah, well, we'll wait and see. We'll watch the space. That's all I have to say about that. The mood is low in the villa because people are feeling some type of way. You have Mimi and Nicole sitting by the fire pit, sort of having a conversation and being happy for Uma that she's left with someone that she really likes. And so hopefully that should show him this is how committed she is to him. And hopefully he'll be able to sort of reciprocate that. And it was sad to see them cry because this is someone they were very close to in the villa. So I wish her all the best. You have the guys, you have Connor, Ruben and Josh sitting by the mini fire pit, and they're having a conversation because they're just checking on Ruben, because it's not a good feeling for two people to leave because of you, just because you chose one person. And I like the way he rationalized it in the sense that, yeah, I chose her and she decided to go. I hope this was a catalyst for them coming back together and seeing how important they are to one another. And for me, it was good for Uma to make that decision for herself, but at the end of the day, her lack of experience is the reason why. She should have listened to Jess when Jess said to her, if he really loves you, if he really has strong feelings for you, he will wait. You stay in the villa, let him wait until you come out. So yeah, it's not a good feeling because now how will he pursue connections with everybody else? Everybody will be side-eyeing him that, you know, he was rejected. That's why he's coming for me. You have Mimi have a conversation with Josh. I like them. I think they're the cutest thing ever. I hope Mimi doesn't have her head turned by Ayo. Because Ayo, I don't think he likes to sort of have control in a relationship. So he likes the idea of Mimi waiting on the sidelines while he does whatever he's doing with Jess. And then when he's good and ready, he'll decide whether or not to go back to Mimi. So if Mimi is smart, she needs to avoid that. You have the girls sitting down having a conversation. Grace, Jessie with a Y, I'm side-eyeing you, and Emma. Okay, this is where my beef is. This is where my problem is. In the sense that the first words out of their mouth is they don't like Ruben because you're going to be second choice. But it's okay for Grace to pursue something with Josh. She's still second choice. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Because if you're saying you can't go for Ruben because it's second choice, the same thing applies to Josh. Because Josh has made his choice. Yes, he said he had a connection with you, but his first pick was Mimi. You are second place. You're fighting for second, third, and fifth place, or whatever places you're getting. So if you can see a problem with going for Ruben, who is not in a couple with anyone, but you're so determined to go after someone who you know is in a couple and is happy in his couple, then the problem is you. It's nobody else. And for people to say, I hate her because of that, make it make sense. Please make it make sense in the comments, and I will try and give you my point. But as far as I'm concerned, she has had 4 or 5 guys chase after her. Allow Mimi the opportunity to go after this guy. If Jess could tell Matilda to take a step back, somebody needs to tell Grace to take a step back. That's just my opinion, and I'm sticking to that. Hey, you have Jess have a conversation with Hugo. I don't get Hugo to say he's happy, although he was telling Ayo that he's not interested, he's losing interest in the connection. Make it make sense. I think he's staying in a couple with Jess because he knows Jess will keep him in the villa, and if he leaves Jess, his chances of going home are highly likely. I'm going to need these people to tell me what their beef with Mimi is, because I don't get it. Especially Jesse with a Y and Sean. Please let me know, because I want to know, what is your beef with Mimi? Why are you pushing for Grace to go after Mimi's man? Why? Anyway, you have suddenly, since movie night, mysteriously, Ayo remembers that Mimi's in the villa. He decides to pull her for a chat. I hope Mimi doesn't buy whatever that man is selling. That man is no good. He is interested in Jesse and likes the idea that Mimi is desperate and she's pining for him. That's all he's after. That conversation, it wasn't necessary. Yeah, it gave her closure, yeah, because I like the way she was dismissive. Because if you looked at it, you'd think, oh, she's flirting with him. But she told him, we haven't spoken since movie night. I said everything I needed to say on movie night. So what are we doing here? More or less. What are we doing here? And then he's trying to be sulking, and she told him, I'm happy for you. You're doing good, so I'm happy for you. Why is he sulking? Why is he pulling her for a chat? Now that he's seen she's in a couple with Josh, had she gone home, would he have come out of the villa and looked for her and said, I want closure with you? Make it make sense. Don't just say things for the sake of saying them. And I don't get why Jesse with a Y is still insistent that Grace needs to go after Josh. Why? If people were saying that about Joey, would she be happy? I hope they bring someone. It seems I've already seen a trailer because I'm late sort of reviewing my thingy. I've seen a clip of Joey going on a date. I hope he entertains that person so that she feels the same way karma comes a calling for her. Anyway, I digress. I like the fact that, well, Mimi and I were talking. Josh was sort of spazzing because he's worried that Mimi is going to do exactly the same. I think he's worried that Mimi is going to do the same thing that Uma did. So he was speaking to sort of Nicole and Kieran. And we all know Kieran is Mimi's little brother. He's going to ride for Mimi. So he was sort of saying, I don't want to put all my eggs in her basket if she's going to go back to Ayo. And I like the fact that they reassured him and told him, she is shut that door. That door is closed for her. So you don't need to worry. You continue doing what you're doing and you're good. You don't need to worry about Ayo and what the hell Ayo's doing. And then you have Jessica or Jessie S. She suddenly comes and sees Mimi and Ayo talking, and she runs straight for Josh, and it's like, why? Why are you doing this messiness? Why? Why are you so insecure, you and your man? You've gone from talking about Mimi to now actually pulling Mimi for chats. Make it make sense. Anyway, she goes and she starts talking to Josh, and are you feeling threatened? He then left his conversation with Mimi and ran over to see what's going on here. And it's like, seriously, make a choice. Make a choice. Don't be all over the place. Why are you so undecided? Be a man about it and choose who you want and keep it moving. You chose Jess. You told Mimi you chose Jess and you had this spark. Keep it moving with your spark. I don't like the way Jess S was throwing a fit though. Oh, what did you talk about? What was the conversation about? Please, when it's time, you'll know. If you want, when he's finished speaking to Josh, have a conversation with your man. But the two of you need to leave Mimi alone. You need to leave Mimi out of your mess. Find something that you have in common that's outside of Mimi and Josh. Thank you. Anyway, for Sean to say that he's predicting that Josh is going to go with Grace. So are they all now I said this at the start that the fact that Mimi had the initial spark with someone is the problem that Mimi has had in the villa. This is why she was alienated at the start and the girls were mean to her, and she ended up aligning with Harriet because they don't want to see her succeed. Because if people were sort of supporting her and happy for her, they would be telling each other, no, Mimi has been through a lot. Look at how she's been crying. Look at everything she's been through since she came back from Casa. Allow her to enjoy this time with Josh. Allow her to sort of see if they can build on that connection. If it doesn't work, then you can try. But for the moment, leave her. Instead of people, oh, I predict that Josh is going to leave Mimi for you for Grace. And this one, oh, you need to go for him. Please, Josh, as I said yesterday, leave this woman alone. Unless you want problems from Joey, because Joey already made a face, and we all know that every guy that has coupled up with Grace has faced Joey's vitriol. He went after Omar, he went after Connor, he didn't see Mosiah, so he couldn't go after Mosiah, but he went after Blade, and he was talking about I think the reason why he was more agitated was, yes, about his GCSEs, and also the fact that Blade was with Grace. And so if you try anything, Joey's coming after you, and you don't need that mess. So while the Islanders are getting ready for bed, you continue to hear Jesse encouraging Grace to go after Josh, and it's like, please sit down. Why are you that keen for her to go after Josh? And you also have Ayo having a conversation with Joey, and it's like, why? Why are we talking about Mimi? Why are we suddenly interested in his feelings for Mimi when Mimi was crying and breaking and he was making out with just us? Nobody asked him, how do you feel about Mimi? Do you not feel bad that she's crying there? Suddenly Mimi's happy. She's found someone who really likes her for her. We all want to know his opinion. Why do we need his opinion on this? Why? He needs to keep it moving. We've had enough from him, and that's okay. The Islanders go to sleep, and people are making out in bed. And Mimi and Josh lives for kissing Mimi. Josh lives for touching Mimi's bum. That's all. I think that's giving him life in the fella. You can tell he's really smitten. You can tell he really likes this girl, and he doesn't want to lose her, and he's trying sort of to make sure that he stays in her good books, or he doesn't do anything that sort of gives her the ache or turns her off. In the morning, you have Jess ask Mimi, oh, Mimi, how did it go in bed? I think Grace wanted to know. And so for Mimi to say things were good in bed, I don't know whether this is enough to turn Grace off, or whether she's still going to continue to go full steam ahead until she gets what she wants. You have Jess have a conversation with Nicole, sort of talking about her conversation with Hugo and the fact that he was complaining that, they're not as flirty. She brings up the fact that, she saw him having a conversation with Ayo and was worried that maybe he was complaining or he was about to break up with her, or something was going wrong. And the truth is, he was about to break up with her. So he knows for a fact that his only saving grace in the villa is Jess. If Jess breaks up with him and she turns everybody against him, he's on the next flight out. And so I think this is why he didn't break things off with her, but he really wanted to break things off with her. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, you have the cute conversation between Mimi and Josh. Josh is smitten. Josh is smitten, and he's trying to make sure that he made the right choice. I think he doesn't want to be the next person, or to be in Connor's situation whereby you couple up with someone, and then once you've coupled up with that person and they turn you away, everybody else wants nothing to do with you because they say, oh, why didn't you pick me first? And Mimi, I think, has been burnt as well because of what she went through with Ayo. She is not willing to sort of say to him, you are my it, I'm not looking at anyone else. And so they're dancing, they're playing this cat and mouse game. And I think Josh is very smart in the sense that he asks a question, and then when Mimi responds, even if she doesn't tell him what he wants, he sort of diverts the conversation. That way she doesn't get upset, or he doesn't sort of push her to make a decision that she doesn't want to make. So he then brought up the issue that, her friend is gone and he is now her best friend. I like their little flirty banter. I like their conversations. I think they're the sweetest thing ever. I hope Grace doesn't steal him. I really hope she doesn't steal him, because this would be heartbreaking for Mimi. I would actually fly to Spain and pack her bags for her, because I don't think she deserves to go through so much heartbreak. She needs a chance to just enjoy herself and just relax and be at ease. So you have the Islanders receive a text message that they're going to be playing the kissing game. The one where one Islander will go down the row, whether it's a boy or a girl, kissing, and then whatever, they get a score once they finish kissing people, and the winner is announced. So I don't know. At least they brush their teeth. That's all I can say. At least everyone went to brush their teeth, which is amazing. But I don't like these games because, oh my God, if someone has got a mouth infection, everybody else is getting it, because you're kissing every single person, especially if you're at the end or if you go last, because the guy at the top is okay, but the guy at the other end, poor thing. So I don't know. we'll see. So it's interesting with the challenge, the fact that the girls were the ones that were kissing. The guys just stood in one place and they didn't go down the line. I remember on the Love Island USA version when they had it, they had both girls and boys take part, but this one was different. And I like the fact that Josh was in the most ideal place because he was number one. Poor Ruben was number last. So it was Josh, Ruben, Connor, Blade, Joey, Kieran, Ayo, and you had Sean, and then last was Ruben. And so the girls got to start, and Grace was the first one to go. The boys, they marked her very well, but their comments about her kisses were just, oh my god, from sloppy. And it's like, how slobbery was she? Was she spitting in their mouths or whatever she was doing? What was she doing? I don't get it. So her highest score actually, was an 8, and that was from Josh, Hugo, Blade, Joey, Sean, and Ruben. Her lowest score was Kieran. He gave her a 6, and it's like, oh my god, that's harsh. But it's not bad given some of the scores that some of the other girls got. And Kieran had to be on his best behavior because he knew that whatever he scored, he would have to justify with Nicole. And next up was Jessie S. And Jessie, she did very well. The guys seemed to enjoy it. Her highest score was from Ayo, actually, who gave her a 9.5, followed by Joey, who gave her a 9. Her lowest score was Sean. Sean was very harsh, and it's like, it's not like he's the best kisser in the first place. He needs to keep quiet. Who said he's the best kisser that he could grade the girls that low? So her highest was 9.5. Her lowest was Sean. And, her average was 8.5, which was mainly Connor, Blade, and Ruben. They were more generous with their scores. Next up was Emma. Emma was harshly marked. I don't know whether it's because she didn't want to kiss the guys or whether she's just a terrible kisser, because her highest score was a 7.5, and that was Kieran. Kieran was the one. No, actually, it was Ruben who gave her an 8. I think he knew who it was because he gave both Grace and Emma 8. And her lowest score was from Joey. He gave her a 3. And it's like 3. That's low. Her average was actually 6.5, and that was from Josh. Seemed more generous with his scoring. So Josh, Connor, and Blade, they were her average. The rest, the 3 was what knocked it. And then Jess, she got a 1 from Kieran. That was really bad. But she got a 9.5 from Hugo. He knew who he was kissing, so I'm not surprised. She got a 9 from Connor and Ruben, and it's like Ruben was being generous because the lowest he gave was 7.5. So I think because he's still trying to find a connection, this is why he was that generous. And then Mimi, I'm surprised at who gave her the lowest points, really. They knew who they were scoring. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Because her highest was, from her man, Josh, and he had to grab a bit of that bum. He's always touching her bum, irregardless of whatever he's doing. He has to make sure that he secures it. And it was cute because she had a 10 from him, and then she had a 9 from Blade and a 9.5 from Ruben. That was cute. Ayo and Joey gave her an 8.5. So her lowest was Sean, and I think maybe she just didn't want to kiss him. It seems nobody wanted to kiss Sean. This has been a theme anyway. And obviously her little brother gave her 5, Kieran. It must have been awkward for them to kiss, because, they're siblings. And then next was Jessie with a Y. She got a 10 from Joey. Yeah, that makes sense. That's her guy. And she got what was her lowest? Her lowest was actually 6.5 from Hugo. I don't know this because she didn't want to kiss him. Hugo was very stingy with his marks as well. But her average was about, it's actually 8.5, and that was from Sean and Blade. I think Sean knew who she was, that's why he gave her that mark, and I'm going to stick to that. And then next up was Nicole. I'm actually surprised Nicole fully threw herself into that, because normally we know her to kick off when Kieran does anything, so I'm surprised she went all in. She got a 9 actually from surprise from Josh. and Connor, and it's like, what was she doing to them? And then she got a 10 from Kieran. If she didn't get any higher than what the other guys rated her, she would have kicked off. Her lowest, I think, was 0.5 from Joey, because according to Joey, she was running away. She didn't want to kiss him. And it's like, oh my God. And then Matilda was the last one. Her highest score was from Sean, who said he gave her a 10. He said he got the tingles, and it's like, TMI. Joey gave her 9.5, and it's like, oh, Joey, are you trying to tell us something? And you had Josh give her a 9, and it's like, okay, it is what it is. I think at the end he was just being generous. Her lowest score was actually a 6 from Blade, and it's like, oh, what happened there, Blade? I know Blade, to be honest, so something must have been wrong with her kissing, but hey, it is what it is. And then at the end, the results were announced. So you had Emma was the last. She had 55. That was quite low. Jess, yeah, she was second from last. I don't get how Mimi was that low, given the fact that she had a couple of high marks. Nicole was 5th. Grace was 4th. Jess S was 3rd. Second was Jess C with a Y. And then Matilda was the highest scorer. And it's wow. That's amazing. At least, they all enjoyed it. I'm surprised they all haven't left the villa to go on any trips or any challenges this season. Am I the only one who's noticed this? So the Islanders, get ready for the night, and they are all very happy and ecstatic. The boys come out for their toast first, and then the girls come out later. And I think they've been doing this just because they've way too many people and there's not enough space. So while everyone is just relaxing and talking, and you have shown the audacity for him to say to Mimi, oh, Mimi, you've got your glow back. And it's like, you're one of the people that are planning her demise. So please sit down. You're next on the chopping block. Anyway, the Islanders receive a text message to gather around the fire pit, and it's revealed that the public have been voting for their favorite Islanders, or favorite girl and favorite boy, and everyone is nervous because they're wondering what's happening. It's then revealed that the bottom 3 guys are Hugo, Blade, and Ayo. Ayo, we all know why he's in the bottom. If Will was still in the villa, he would have been in the bottom with Ayo. They would have been chilling together. I'm pleasantly surprised that Sean didn't make it to the bottom of the list. I'm really surprised because I expected him to get there. I think Connor has managed to escape because he's been in the villa a bit longer, and he really hasn't had any strife or any story arc that might sort of put the viewers off. I think this is why he survived. The girls, it was Jessie S, Emma, and Jess. And everyone was surprised that Jess was in the bottom. And it's like, you haven't seen what we've seen. From what we've seen, Jess hasn't come across as one of the nicest people. So it's not surprising that people wanted her out, because you have Diamante calling her a bully, and then you have everything else that she's done. You have, Harriet doing interviews and saying what Jess did to her. So there was no one who was going to save her. So I'm not surprised. I think Jess was under the impression that the Islanders would get to vote. So she knew that if they were getting to vote, chances of them sending her home were highly unlikely. And she would somehow manage to squeeze in Hugo. So they would stay in as a couple, and Ayo and Jess and Emma and Blade would go home. And surprise, surprise, I think the producers saw the uproar from the fans, because people were up in arms saying, why do you ask us to vote if you keep keeping whoever you want to keep in the villa? We are voting for who we don't want to see, and you keep saving those people. So I think this is why the producers just decided to go with public vote. And so public vote meant that Hugo and Blade went home. They didn't have a fan base because they've just come in from Casa, so I'm not surprised they went home. On the girls' side, it was surprising to see Jess go home. It wasn't a surprise, but it was also surprising. So Jess and Emma went home. Am I surprised? No. I'm actually surprised that Grace is still in the villa. I think Grace was saved because they want to try and put Mimi in another love triangle, and I hope she doesn't stand for that, because he's already said he's open to getting to know other people and then making a choice of whether he wants me or he doesn't. So she's open to that, but I hope he doesn't try and be as messy as Ayo, because obviously he and Ayo have already had this conversation where they've told each other, stay your side, I'll stay my side. It was sad to see Jess go home, because now there's only 2 OG girls left. There's only 2 OG girls. which is Mimi and Nicole. Everybody else is gone, and this will have to bind them and bring them closer to one another. So I see the two of them making it to the finale. And hopefully they're there in their time of need and are able to sort of console each other, since they've been together the longest as compared to the other girls. But anyway, I digress. Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 32. Bye guys.